Hey, Riley, it's good to be with you again.
So I want to start with that question. We've seen similar efforts to cut waste from people, from Democratic presidents like Barack Obama, Republican ones. Now it's a very partisan issue. And I'm just trying to figure out, how exactly did we get here?
Well, I think we got there because people have, and first of all, let me apologize for my voice. I'm trying to push through, but it's been a long week and my voice has taken a toll this week. But no, I think we got here because, again, the partisanship is really beginning to expose some real problems that I think, as we continue to dive in, the mismanagement of what's been going on may very well be criminal. I mean, let's face it, there's things that are being uncovered of how this money is being spent, how pretty much the data has been hidden from plain sight. And what Elon Musk and Doge are bringing to the table is the ability to get to the data and bring it to the surface so that all the Americans are seeing the light being shed on these things. And again, we said it when we started. I think USAID was just the tip of the iceberg. And we continue to see things unfold. And I think there is plenty more to come from what they've started.
Now, Congressman, I want to quickly say thank you, by the way, for pushing through. I appreciate it. I know you're very busy. I also want to ask you about that meeting with Elon Musk this week and lawmakers in Congress. How did that go?
Well, I think it went very well. I think he received an overwhelming amount of support from those that were in the conference, that were there. It was fascinating to us. I frankly had my notebook out and was taking notes fast and furious just to begin to help me get an idea of what's going on. And to be honest, it has been very poor oversight, not just for the last few years, but for decades. And I think the things that he is exposing is exactly what has to happen. You know, as conservatives, we've talked long and hard about the fact that government has grown out of control. Spending has grown out of control. It's too large. It's got to be shrunk. It's got to be limited. Well, I think what he is exposing is showing exactly what we've been saying to be the truth. It has gotten so large that it has become unmanageable. And I think that until we have had this brought to light, nobody really had the data to be able to point to the realities. And that's exactly what I think he's doing. And as you pointed out in your report earlier, my own state of North Carolina, I'm so proud of our General Assembly that has formed a select committee on government efficiency, and other states are following suit as well. So this is a revolution, I really believe, has the feel to that anyway, across our country, where we're looking to government to be held accountable again and give a report back to the American people.
Okay, well, I completely agree. And this is extremely important work. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to just get things back on the right track. But that's why it's so weird to me and disturbing to see the resistance coming from a lot of these unelected bureaucrats who've seemed to have forgotten who they work for. So, case in point, the Doge standoff this week with the African Development Agency. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's unacceptable. I think where Congress is going to need to step in, we're going to have to step in, and we're going to have to make it very clear. We're already having hearings talking about these activist judges and taking steps. You know, Alexander Hamilton in the Federalist 65 suggested that the subjects of impeachment are those offenses which proceed from the misconduct of public men, or in other words, from the abuse or violation of some public trust, end quote. To be honest with you, Riley, what we're seeing right now is an opportunity to bring trust back to the American people in what's happening in our government. And for bureaucrats to try to stand up and stand in the way of getting to the bottom of this information so that we can really know where it's going, even down to the point of coding checks and knowing and putting explanation on what is the purpose of this check. All of those kind of things that seem so simple to you and me and the way we manage our homes, the way businesses are managed. It's time for government to feel that same responsibility and accountability. And we've got to restore trust to the public in all areas of our government. and this is that opportunity.
Absolutely. And of course, this is not work that's going to happen overnight. I mean, we've got hundreds and hundreds of these agencies, all with their own staffing, their own funding, run by unelected bureaucrats. So this really is a behemoth of a problem that we find ourselves in. But speaking of that, I want to ask you about one agency in particular, FEMA. So a former FEMA official who was fired amidst the chaos surrounding the discovery of payments and putting migrants, illegal immigrants into luxury hotels in New York City. This particular official is striking back, suing the Trump administration, I believe, for wrongful termination. I want to get your thoughts about that, Congressman.
Listen, FEMA employee fired for having a role in $59 million of taxpayers' money being used to put in hotels, very nice hotels, I might add, in New York and other places, while American citizens in Western North Carolina were being told, we know Helene came through, but you've overstayed. You're welcome in the shelter that we provided for you. That is extremely concerning. And quite frankly, when any employee of FEMA or any agency for that matter is going to put the well-being of illegal aliens above American citizens, they have crossed a line and they must be dealt with directly. And again, as I mentioned, so many of these things, I'll be honest, I think the pushback is so strong because I think we're going to continue to find that many of the actions that have been taken are criminal in nature. And when you start finding that they're criminal in nature, then you've stepped into another whole arena. And it's time for accountability to step up.
Very interesting. Completely. That should be the baseline. The American people deserve to know what their own government is doing. Just end of discussion. And the pushback, I agree, is suspicious. Having said that, I do, just in our final couple minutes here, Congressman, I have to ask you about the ongoing budget negotiations, 8 days away from the funding deadline. What's going on with that?
Well, I think all indication from what I'm gathering is that things are being set up for there to be a clean CR that is going to move through Congress, through the House, hopefully early next week, and we're going to get that passed. Hopefully the Senate is going to follow suit. This is going to give the administration time to continue to do what they need to do. It's going to be able to just stop spending, free spending right where it is. In fact, the president tweeted out about it yesterday. It's something that he's called for. I think it's an important decision for us to be able to do it. There's so much happening that this administration is uncovering through DOGE that it really is the right thing to do. We're moving forward with our work in our committees that have been given direction through the budget resolution that we passed out of the House. We're waiting on the Senate to make their move with the resolution that we passed. And I think that the CR in the meantime is probably going to be the best way. It's not a perfect way. It's not what we would have normally wanted to support, but I do think it's going to be an important step just to give us the time that we need, because again, there's so much good work being done right now in exposing the realities that we've got to be able to enter into a process where we can really finish the job.
Okay. And last question for you, sir. There's some concern about what might get cut and looking at this new budget. There are some reports out there saying that if House Republicans want to hit their budget goal, they might have to possibly withdraw some money from Medicaid spending. I'm not sure if this is even true. It's just being reported, and I'd like to get your thoughts about that.
Yeah, all the conversations that I've been a part of is the things that everybody's talking about Medicaid is simply just fear mongering that's going on out there. The people that Medicaid was designed for and the people that are receiving the benefits from Medicaid, who it was designed for, are going to be able to keep their benefits. Case in point. I mean, bottom line, that we're probably going to make sure that able-bodied adults who can work are going to work. And there's going to be things that are going to be put in place like that. But what I'm seeing now, I don't see benefits for those that need Medicaid and have been on Medicaid, rightfully so, are going to be able. There's so much in the waste, fraud, and abuse that is being found that's where I'm confident that we're going to see the major portion of everything that has to happen here.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that point. I really do appreciate it. I also appreciate your time today, Congressman. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And again, I apologize for my voice. Hopefully it'll be better next time we're together.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thank you.